It was early morning, and the road was quiet, almost too quiet. A young girl was out for her usual morning walk when something unusual caught her eye. Standing at the edge of the road was a mother bear, and right beside her, a tiny cub, frozen in the middle of the lane. The mother stood back, anxious, as if waiting. The cub didn't move, terrified by the open space. The girl froze. Her heart raced. Was it dangerous? Should she help? She took one careful step forward. What happened next wasn't just shocking, it was something she would remember for the rest of her life. The girl stood still, eyes locked on the little bear cub trembling in the middle of the empty road. The mother bear didn't move an inch, keeping a safe distance at the edge, pacing nervously. It was clear, she wasn't aggressive. She was scared. Her cub was too afraid to cross. Every time a breeze blew or a distant car sound echoed, the cub flinched. The girl looked around. No rangers, no help. Just her, and two wild animals frozen by fear. She slowly bent down, extended her hand, not to touch, but to show she meant no harm. The mother bear looked at her, and in that silent exchange, something unspoken passed between them. Trust. The girl took a deep breath and slowly stepped onto the road. Her heart pounded. One wrong move, and the mother bear might charge. But she wasn't thinking of herself. She was thinking of the cub, shivering with fear, stuck between instinct and danger. The girl didn't make a sound. She knelt a few feet away, placing her school bag on the ground like a harmless offering. The cub looked at her, eyes wide and glassy. The mother bear didn't growl. Instead, she made a low humming sound, as if encouraging her baby. Slowly, the cub inched forward, step by step, then suddenly ran past the girl, into its mother's arms. The girl didn't move. She just smiled, breathless, witnessing a moment most people never would. For a brief moment, everything stood still. The mother bear, now reunited with her cub, didn't rush away. Instead, she turned and looked directly at the girl. It wasn't aggression, it was something softer. Her eyes held a depth of understanding, almost as if she knew this human had meant no harm. The girl stayed completely still, her breath shallow. That moment, filled with quiet tension, felt longer than it was. Then, the mother bear gave a low grunt and slowly began crossing the road, her cub trailing closely behind. But before disappearing into the nearby bushes, the bear looked back one last time. Not out of fear, but gratitude. It wasn't just an animal crossing a road. It was a bond, a wordless exchange between species, sealed forever in that glance. As the bears disappeared into the trees, a quiet ripple went through the onlookers. People who had only moments before grumbled about the traffic were now stepping out of their cars, watching in stunned silence. One elderly man whispered, "Did she just save that cub?" A few people began clapping, not for entertainment, but out of sheer respect. The girl stood there, still catching her breath, overwhelmed by what had just unfolded. She hadn't done it for attention. She hadn't thought twice. She just acted. A mother and her baby were safe because of her. Someone offered her a water bottle, someone else called her brave. But she was still processing it all. That look the mother bear gave her, it was something she'd never forget. A moment that had touched everyone watching, deeply and unexpectedly. As the bears vanished into the trees, the girl remained still, watching, reflecting. She hadn't expected her morning to turn into something so unforgettable. The cub was safe. The mother bear was free. And all it took was one small act of courage. But that act carried a message much bigger than herself. One about empathy, instinct, and protecting the lives we share this planet with.